Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to data structure session. Please confirm if you can hear me. Okay. So today first we will go with this concept, this theory part of this new concept, and then if you have any queries or doubts coding related, so we'll go with that. So as we discussed in the last session, today we are going to focus on this concept called linked list. So let's see what is this linked list. According to our first chapter of data structure, there are two type of data structures. One is static and second is dynamic. Two type of data structure means when you store the multiple data together. So to store the data, you can use the static data structure or you can use dynamic. So static data structure is nothing but your array. So when you write in your array, whether you are in Java or C++ or C Sharp programming language, when you create array, so this is like a simple syntax of array. When you give a size or to the array, so it creates one memory in the background and then you can hold the data. So in the zeroth position, you can hold one data and in the one position you can hold the data. But if you hold two data and you want to store more data after running the program, you already written in a code that you want to store only two values, and when you run the program you are expecting to store more values, so not possible. So here you can only store two values. And if the safer side, if you create array with more size, for example you created array and the size of this array is 5, so it is going to create 5 memories. Means there are 5 index positions. We have 0, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 5 values means 0 position, 1 position, 2. Okay, just wait. Yeah. Then this is a 3 position and this one is 4 position. So now if we store only few values, so the other memories are wasted. So this is the problem in this type of array. This is the default array. Mostly you can find this type of arrays in C++, Java, C Sharp, means all the programming languages. Mostly these arrays are available. Okay. So here you can store two values, and here we have memory wastage. So now how you can overcome this problem? So this is your static array. So static array means once you create array, its size is fixed. After running program, you can only put those values. If you put less values, if you created a code, let's say you have array of 100 values, you are just storing 3-4 values using your code. You have only a loop to repeat 5 times and store 5 values. So 5 values are stored, but other values are wasted. So which can not grow or shrink at runtime. So currently you will not understand, or I will say face this problem. We haven't faced this problem here uh, because we are just taking data from user. So we don't understand this complete concept here. properly, because we are just taking data from user. But when you go to slowly complete application development for other modules, so you also have to read data from notepad files. Okay, you also have to read data something from database, not only from user, and store them in the array. So now in our notepad file or in our database, there is no fixed data like today we have 10, tomorrow also 10, day after tomorrow also 10, every year there is a 10 data. No. So every day data increases or decreases. So like on Amazon also has a database. Today we have 10 products, tomorrow we have 15, today we have different products, tomorrow we have different. So there should be one array which can take n number of values in spite of giving any size in advance. So we require dynamic array for this, which can grow or shrink at runtime because we don't give any size. So it can grow or shrink at runtime. And this dynamic array, to create this dynamic array, we have linked list. We are going to create something called linked list. Now let's see how this linked list is dynamic array. How this can store n number of values without wasting a single memory. Let's compare with now array concept. So what happens in the linked list? Let's try. So in the linked list, it creates one node. A memory here is in concept wise, it is called node, N-O-D, node. And this node has two things in it. It has a data and address. So this memory in linked list concept, it's called node, and the node has a data and address. So if I, let's say, try to store value 4, so it will create this node, and in this node it is going to store the value 4, and after storing the value 4, the address of the next memory is not there, so it is just blank because there is no next node available. We have only one node. Then if I try to store another value, let's say I'm trying to store now 5 after 4. So for when I say I want to store 5, see, you can see there is no memory already created in advance. There is no 1 or 5 or 100 memories already created like array here. You can see when I say I want to store 4, it created this called node, stored the value. And then I'm saying now I want to store a value 5. So it is going to create again one node, and this node has the same thing. So I will just copy the same. So when I say I want to store 5 value, it will create another node, and this node has different value 5 and address of next node. So now this is our first node. It has a data 4, and this node is going to point the next node. So this node has its own data, and it is pointing next memory, means it is like a connected, linked meaning is, linked means attached. So the first node has a value of itself and it is linked to the next node. The second node also has its value and it is also linked to a next node, but there is no next node, so you can see blank there. Otherwise it is also going to link to the next node. Then if I try to store one more value, let's say 89, anything, so again it will do the same thing. It will create one more node. This node has a value 89 So there is no memory I have mentioned anywhere, like I want 4 value to store 8 value. I just said I want to store 4, it created a node, stored my value. I said I want to store 5, it's created a memory, stored a value, connected to the previous value. And when I say I want to store 89 now, again it created a memory node and stored the value. And the previous node is now going to linked with the next node. So in this you can store n number of values because memory is growing, increasing. So here if I see the definition, dynamic array means which can grow or shrink at runtime. So both the limitations of our traditional static array are decreased now, removed now. Limitations are removed. So the traditional arrays are also used if you want to store fixed number of value. You know the size in advance, of course you can use them. But if you don't know the size in advance, so we can use something called linked list. It is not there default in C++ or Java. We have some classes for this concept. We can directly use them. But we can also create our own. We can create this thing here. We can create these nodes and store values. So first I'm just explaining you a concept to store multiple data in the memory. So whatever related to memory is the data you are storing. So to store the data, you have a static option. You create a static now fixed number of memories and then store the data, or you store sorry, in what happens in static, you create fixed number of memories and then store the data. And in dynamic, when the data comes, then create the memory. So when we say 4 data, then created memory and stored. When I say I want to store 5, again one more memory created and stored. Then I said I want to store 89, 89. So we are not taking from user, depends, we are maybe we are taking from user, data also come from file, other sources, but wherever it is coming from, we don't care how many values are there, just let them come, values to become, we will store them because we have linked list now. A linked list can create multiple nodes we required. So that's why it is growing in runtime, grow. And it can also shrink. This is also one thing, shrink means if I remove the 89 value, we can delete the 89 value. So if I delete the 89 value, so we can write a code also to delete its memory. So the memory will also get deleted. So if you remove any value from your, like normal array, if you remove a value, it will become 0 or the some garbage value in C++. In Java, it becomes 0 there. But memory is there. Memory is not going to remove. But here the memory is removed. If you remove 89 or if you remove that 5, the memory is removed. So there is no memory wastage. So this linked list we have to create like this. This concept says like this. So we also have to create like this, which can grow whenever we put values. It will grow. You can store n number of value, no limit, and it will also shrink. Means if you remove any value, so it is going to shrink also. So there is no single memory wastage. So this linked list you see here, which we created, this linked list also they created types. The first, this linked list is called singly linked list. Singly linked list. So this linked list you see, which I created the diagram, like how the memory structure will be. We haven't written any code. We are just trying to understand the linked list use and its structure. So
Sir,
this, yeah,
sir, your nodes means memory only, na?
memory only, but they call it node. That's the name of the concept they have given, node. So it's a memory only.
सर
Yes.
ये डेटा में तो हमने जो वैल्यू दी है वो रहेगा एड्रेस में ऐसा किसका एड्रेस रहेगा
Data
ये
is value. Yeah. Whatever you want to store in the memory. So we have memory and address of next memory. So in address, there is address like something XFD110, any random address is there of the, every memory has one address. So this address is stored here in this.
नहीं मतलब जैसे फाइ का जो मतलब एड्रेस रहेगा वो
Not
इसमें
5,
है।
not 5. This entire memory, this you see, this entire memory has one address. This one, the second one. So that address is stored here in the first node. Similarly, this entire third memory has one address. That address is stored here in second memory. And the third doesn't have address because there is no further memories. So it is blank. So how to do that in Java? You don't have to do just store your objects directly. In C++, we have a pointer concept. So we have to use that here. And we are going to use that concept here, pointer concept. But this is called singly linked list. Now let's try to understand why it is called singly linked list. Why it is singly? Because you have to see the direction. Now, when you display this linked list, okay, when I create a code to display the linked list, display your linked list. So what it is going to display? See this carefully. What it will display? It is going to display 4, 5 and 89. It will start from here, first node 4, and then it will display 5, and then it will display 89. Yeah, so same, right? Whatever you stored, it is printing same. So what is different in this? So the singly linked list can only display in this way. It can traverse in only one way, left to right. If you want to display 89, 5 and 4, not possible. You want to display this in reverse order, you want to display 89, then you want to display 5 and then 4. No, you cannot do this, because if you print 89, to go back you should have memory of the previous block, but you don't have a memory. If you see the memories properly, so this first node, if you start from here, it will display 4, then we have a memory of next node, so it goes to the next node, we can print 5, then after printing 5, it has a memory of next node, complete node here, so we can print 89. So we can only traverse in one way from left to right. So you want to print 4, 5, 89, so yes, it will display. But we have one more type of linked list. So same code, same concept, but we have to add something additional in this. So this linked list is little bit different. So for example, if I say I want to store values, so I want to store values, and the first value I want to store is 8. So it will create one memory. Again, that memory is nothing but same node. And this node, this memory has three things now. This has 1, 2 and 3. So the middle one here is data. This one is a previous address. I'm writing in shortcut, okay? Previous address, and here NA, next address. So I will write down somewhere what is NAPA to remember later. Currently we don't have a space there to write complete word. I'm writing in shortcut. Previous address, and NA means next address. So when I want to store 8, it will store 8 in the data. And let's say if I say I want to store one more value, I want to store 6. Okay, so I want to store 6. Now what it will do, again it will create one memory, and this memory has data 6 because we are trying to store 6. So it is going to store value 6, and it is going to previous address means this node memory is going to have previous memory address. Previous PA means previous address, and the first memory has next address. So the first node has next address, and the next memory has a previous address. So they have two addresses now. The first node has next address, next node has a previous address. And if I try to store one more value, let's say I'm storing here, comma, 9. I want to store one more number 9. So again, same dynamicness is there. It is going to create one more memory. And this memory has the data now 9 because we want to store 9. And same here, this has the previous memory, previous address, and the second memory has a next address. So actually, because of adding this one more address in each node, not only the next memory address, but also the previous memory address, because of this, what will happen? If I try to display this list, display your linked list, so you have two ways. If you start from here, it will print its data 8. This node will print its data. Node dot data is 8. And then go to the next node. So the next node, how it will go to the next node? Because it has address of next node. So it can go to the next node. And then next node will print its data 6. And then this node will also go to the next node. How it can go to next node? Because it has the address of next. So NA means next address, next node address. So here it will print 9. So similar way, you can also start from the end node, and end node will print 9. After printing 9, it can go backward now because it has address of previous node. So PA, previous address. So if it goes to the previous node will print its data 6. And after printing 6, this node also has the address of previous node. It can go back and print its data. So means we have to create the node like this. We have to create a memory like this, which has not only a data, but also address of next and previous memories. So we can go in both direction. We can traverse in both the directions. So this linked list is your called doubly linked list. That one is singly linked list, and this linked list is doubly linked list because it has two ways to traverse. So here you can traverse. Yeah. Tell me if you have any doubt.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in this first node for previous address, it will take from second node.
Sorry?
Sir, this is first node 81.
Correct.
So it will take the previous address from second
Previous
node,
address
that is
is,
sixth.
I will write here null because there is no previous address. Because this is the first node, before that there is no node. So this is null. This one has address of next, this one has previous, next address previous, and after this here also null. Null means nothing. So the third node also does not have any next address because after that there is no next node available. Similarly, in the first linked list, here I will write null for our information. Null means nothing. Okay. So first node has the address of next. Then this node also has the address of next, but the last node does not have address because there is no node. So yes, means there is no previous address here. Okay.
सर
Yeah.
सर प्रीवियस एड्रेस और नेक्स्ट एड्रेस दोनों से डेटा प्रिंट कर सकते हैं.
Yeah, we can actually create three variables in one class, in one memory. Data integer variable which can store a value, two variables for storing address, pointer variable for storing address.
या लेकिन फर्स्ट और थर्ड में तो नेक्स्ट के लिए इसमें प्रीवियस के लिए नल है और लास्ट में नेक्स्ट के लिए.
Correct.
लेकिन जो बीच वाला है उसमें हमारे पास प्रीवियस भी है और नेक्स्ट वाला भी है, तो ये दोनों से हम प्रिंट करवा सकते हैं वैल्यू डेटा का.
No, actually, normally we have only one start. Okay, here we have one start. So when you we have a node and let's say this node name is start. Okay, so in linked list, singly linked list, we have two nodes which are directly accessible. One is start node And we don't take end node here because we cannot traverse in reverse order. So you can start from here, and after starting from here 4, 5 and 89, you cannot start from middle. Okay, because in the linked list, singly linked list, we have option to start only from first block, first memory, because we create one variable called start, which is representing a first node, and from there you can go to other nodes. But from, you cannot start from middle here, because you can see there is no indexing given here, 0, 1, 2, 3 index. So similarly here, you, if you want to start, you can start from here. This one is start node. Okay, and this one is end. So in the doubly linked list, we have two node names. We create two variables, start and end. So either you can print from 869 or 968, but you cannot start printing from here 6 then 9 or 6 8 like this.
हाँ सर ये समझा, लेकिन ऐसा जो फर्स्ट वाला नोड है उसके लिए नेक्स्ट नोड जो है वो बीच वाले का ऐसा जो है वो नेक्स्ट नोड हुआ, तो उससे भी हम प्रिंट करवा सकते हैं। और जो थर्ड वाला है उसके लिए ये वो सेकंड वाला प्रीवियस एड्रेस हुआ, तो फिर इससे भी हम करवा सकते हैं।
Yes, so you can traverse in both directions. Yes.
Okay sir, thank you sir.
Yes. So you can traverse in both directions in doubly linked list, and in singly linked list we can only traverse in single way. And just to remember, because instead of keeping that address blank, I will write here something like this. Has example, it has xfd 0089. This is the address of this memory. Assume this. So I'm copying this address and I hope it will fit. Yes. So to remember, this is the address of complete entire node, not of data or just not of this entire memory. You see its address is xfd 0089, and the next node, let's say, has a address xfp 0045, and this memory is, and finally here we have xpo 876, and this address is not linked with anything, no any node. So this node has its memory and also memory of next node, so it can go to next node. Next node has its data and address of next node, so it can go to the third node. And the third node has only data and its own memory. Of course it can print its own data, but no address further given. So this is how it is that's why it is moving only in one way. Okay, so it can traverse only in one direction, from left to right. So it can traverse only in one direction, left to right. So there is left.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, in this third node, why we have written null? Because it is not going further.
Because after that we don't have any memory, any more node from where we can copy address and write here. You can see this node has xpf 0045 written in previous. The previous node has memory xfd 0089 that is written in previous. So what to write here? Because we don't have a next memory after this, so that's why we have kept it blank. If you have next node, you can write that address here.
Okay sir, thank you.
Yep. So now we remember this too. We have linked list. In the linked list, singly linked list is there, and then we have doubly linked list. So in doubly linked list, you can see two directions. You can traverse in both direction, and I will write just for our information, because now we remember PA previous address NA. But if you open later, so PA means previous address and nm is next address, next memory address. Okay, so now there is one more linked list type. Now I think maybe you have think like this, you have already thought about this concept. In the linked list this is also possible. So possible means we have to create our variables and memory like this in a code in order to create singly or doubly linked list. So similarly we have something called, let's see what it is. So I will, let's say I want to store values, and this time I want to store 89. So one memory is created. This memory has only two blocks, same like the first one. It has a data and address, next address. It has a data and address. So what is the data? We are trying to store 89. This is our node, means memory, and that's it stored. So let's store one more data. I want to store 65. So 65 is stored. So 65, to store 65 will create one memory. This memory is same like previous, but data is changed. So the data is 65. Okay. And the same thing, you have memory, you have only one direction here, like singular I am creating. So first node has address of next node. Next node has 65 value, no address of next. But if I try to store one more value, let's say 75. So it is going to create one more memory. So it looks like a single linked list only, right? But now there is a difference you can see. Let me just change this value, 65. So next value is what? 75. And the previous memory is connected here. And now the last memory is connected to the first memory. So this is a something different. So the last memory is going to connect to the first memory. So the first node has the data 89, then it has the address of next node. The next node has its value 65, address of next node, and the third also has the data and no address is not null. It also has the address of first node. So this linked list, it's the same circular linked list only, single linked list only, but because it is connecting to the first node again back, so same code, we just have to change few lines and it will become circular linked list. This linked list is called circular linked list. So it's a singly linked list only, but because in third means last node, instead of adding null, making it null blank, we added address of first node. So that's why it became circular linked list. Similarly, possibly in W also, not only single for single, for W also it's possible. So single or doubly, any linked list it is, it can become circular also.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, you have taken different values. So third node, the value is 75.
75. Yes. This one is 75, correct. So here we have 75. Correct. So this is our circular linked list. Anyone has any doubt here? In circular linked list?
Sir,
Yes.
सर लास्ट वाला आपने बोला जो इसका एड्रेस होगा वो फर्स्ट वाले का प्रीवियस एड्रेस होगा.
No, there is no previous here, you can see. So this node has an address of next node. Next node is the first node here. So first node has only one address, that is the next node address. Next node, the second node has only one address, that is the next node. And the next node has only one address, that is the first node address. If you are calling first node previous, then it is okay. But because when you say previous word here, it looks like doubly linked list. So currently it's a singly linked list only, because just connected to first node again back. So it became like a loop, so it's become circular link. And this is also possible in doubly linked list. Like first node has an address of next node has an address of next, and the last node has an address of first. So in doubly or singly, in both you can make this circular linked list possible. Okay, so now here we have no end. Actually we only consider start here. So actually here we consider start and end both. I remember in code. So I think we have to write end here. We cannot traverse in both way in singular linked list, but we take both nodes start and end for doing some operations. So start is this node, of course, end is this node, correct? Then here also you have start and end, but here we only take one thing, start. We don't take end here, because if you see there is no end only, you cannot actually guarantee say which one is end, because it's not ending only, it can go again and again. Circular. So this one is start. We just declare only one thing, start, in this. We don't declare end in the circular linked list. So when it prints, it can print 89, it will print 65, 75. And if you come back to the start, then you can stop like this. We can do in the circular linked list. So there are three ways. So remember, we have a static array which can grow, which cannot grow or shrink at runtime, a dynamic array which can grow or shrink at runtime. And to implement this dynamicness in your array, you have to create your own array that is called linked list, because the memories are created by us and they are linked with each other. So that's why it's called linked list. It has three types: singly linked list, doubly linked list, and we have circular linked list. So there are three types of linked list which we can create, and everything is same. Just this has one extra variable. This just last code end we have to connect to first. So just change a little bit logic, and we can create any. So now in most of the programming languages, if you want to use linked list, they have built-in classes already. You don't have to create linked list manually, but mostly you should know the code, because the interviewer just wanted to know that you know the concepts, you know how to create. And sometime in company they really require to create own linked list to add some of their own feature which are uh, maybe not available in built-in classes of that particular language. Anyone has any doubt here so far in this concept? There are some students unmuted between. You have any doubts? So this one is dynamic arrays linked list. Now there is a question. There is a question that if you have singly linked list, maybe this question rise in your mind. You know the already answer, or you did not ask me this question. There are these choices. This possibilities. So singly linked list is going to traverse in one order, like whatever you store 4589, the same values are printed 4589. You stored 4589, you got 4589. Normally we do same thing, we store something and we get the same thing in output. Okay, so why we have to traverse in two ways? Why there is a need of doubly linked list? When you are printing in reverse order, but why to print reverse order? We print 869, 869, you store 869, you got 869. But why you required 968? Why we print in reverse order? Maybe some of you in Java or C++ tried printing array in reverse order, or example like this. But have you asked this question, why we required like printing in reverse order? So there are many real applications where we actually want to print in reverse order. For example, let's say I started a website today, one website, e-commerce website today, where I sell some products, like I sell eyewear. Okay, I sell eyewear, I sell glasses. Okay, so this e-commerce website, or let's say mobile, I sell mobile in this website, and I started this website in 2000 year. When I started this website, the first mobile I started selling Nokia mobiles, and in 2001 I started selling some other mobiles like Motorola. Then 2005 iPhone. I'm just writing, skipping some years there. 2008 we sold HTC mobile. 2009 we sold, let's say, Samsung mobile. 2011 we sold Samsung Champ, Samsung Duos, Samsung Galaxies. It was a tops mobile in that 2011-12 years in India. Then 2012, let's say, I sold Microsoft Lumia, Nokia Lumia mobiles. Then 2014, say me, Oppo's, OnePlus, Moto, and many mobiles are there now, Oppo. So the main thing, what I want to explain you from this. So in the website, we started selling the mobiles. There are many mobiles, of course, there are thousands, maybe lakhs of mobile we sold, because it started in 2000, let's say. And now, in after 20 years, we have many data, because we sold many mobile phones. Now in our database, in our table, we have data stored in this order. In my table, because I sold the Nokia mobile first, in my table, my first row is Nokia. And now in my website, if I show this data in same order now, so if I suggest my audience of website, my website, if I show this mobile first, because in my database, in my table, I have Nokia mobile first stored, and if I take Nokia mobile and display, no one is going to buy now. So I have to show them OnePlus mobile. I cannot show them Nokia mobile now, because no one is going to buy. So now here we have a need to display in a reverse order, or you can say latest product first. So if you have a data which you want to display in reverse order, there are different reasons. Mostly the reasons are this: for the latest thing first. So this thing is called LIFO. Anyone knows the full form? LIFO.
Last in, first out.
Yes. So LIFO means last in, first out. So this is actually a memory structure. You have to create a memory structure like this. Memory structure. When you store the data in your array, because it's your array now, linked list, it's your array. So you have to ensure now that you have the facility of last in, first out. The last data which is in, that should first out. So you have to create a memory structure like this, LIFO memory structure. And this memory is also known as stack. Stack memory. Now a simple word stack is used for this, because we call stack like there are some stack of books on the table. So for example, you have a table. Okay, this is a table, let's say, and on the table you have some books. So this is first book, then this is second book, this is third book. So this is called stack of books, right? So the same name given to the memory, like stack memory. So assume that you have one container, and in this container you can store your items. Let's say you can store number. So when I store the number, let's say I stored 5, then I stored one more number on that, top of that 6, then I stored 7. So you can see this container here, this container is one ended open container. Only one end is open, one side is open, another side of course is not open, otherwise how it will be container? Correct. So you stored the value from top, you put your values from top, you stored 5 first, so it's stored in the container, then you put another item 6, then you put another item 7. So now tell me, when you take your values out, you cannot take out 5 value first, because it is there in the bottom, you have to first take out 7. So when you take the values out, so which value will come first? It will print 7, then 6, and then 5. So that's why this memory is called stack memory, because we put one item on another. So LIFO memories are called stack memory. So if you see the stack word somewhere, stack memory word somewhere, so don't get confused. It's just a memory which is storing in this manner, this order. Okay, so this stack memory or this LIFO thing is possible because of your doubly linked list. If you don't have doubly linked list, you cannot do the LIFO. Okay.
सर
Yes.
लिफो में मतलब जो हम लोग लास्ट में डाल रहे हैं वो ऐसा पहले आ रहा है, और आपने
Yes.
बोला कि मतलब ये डबली लिंक लिस्ट की वजह से, वो कैसे सर?
In doubly linked list, it is possible because in doubly linked list we can directly start from end variable or end object, because we have end object in doubly linked list. We'll go to end object directly, not to start, and then we'll print end object data 9, and then end memory has a previous address, we can go previous, print 6, and then go previous and 8. So it will print 9, then 6, and then 8. So 9, 6, 8 reverse order is possible. That's why LIFO is possible. So this memory is called as a stack memory. It is not stored one on another, but in the concept it is called stack. So similarly, we have something called FIFO. Now what is FIFO? First
in first out.
Yeah, so that is last in first out. So of course this is called first in first out. So again you have to create the memory structure like this to do the FIFO. Now FIFO is a common, like whatever you store, you want to display that data. Whatever whenever you store a data, if you wanted to display in same order. So mostly in all the programs we display in same order. Like if you buy something, no, there also in website we display in LIFO order. So if it's not a latest thing first, so there are many things which are not latest, we don't display latest thing first, we just display the data in same order. So there we can use a FIFO, first in first out, and this is called as a queue memory. Like queue is nothing but a row line. So when you stand in a queue, it's also known as like first come first serve basis. Like if you go somewhere, and if you take appointment, and if you are the first one to take appointments, of course they are going to serve you first. They are not going to take the last one first, right? After that, the second person who take an appointment, then third person, and so on. So this is called a first come first serve basis, or a first in first out basis. Here in our memory we are calling FIFO. So that's why it is known as a queue memory. And this memory is represented like open ended pipe. You have a pipe. This is like a pipe, like you have a water pipe line, the same like that. So assume that this is a water pipe, both sided are open, not like a stack container where we have only one side open. Here we have both side open. So this end we are going to put our item. So let's say if I put here A, so this A item we put from this end, the left end, and then it will go further here. Then we put next item B from here, so the B item comes here. And similarly I put one more value C, the C value comes here. And when you see now, if the values go out, so how the values are going to be taken out? So A value will come out, then B, and then C. So in the pipe we have two ends. One is called rear end, and another is called a front end. Front and rear, like front and rear camera. So from front we put the values, and from rear end we remove the values. Front and rear. So from front side we'll put the values, and from rear end we will remove the value. So this rule we have to follow, and then you will get FIFO. You put ABC, you got ABC out. So what you put, the same values, same ways, same manner, you got same order, you got your values. So that's why it is called as a queue memory, and it's a FIFO and stack LIFO. So to do this both things, your array, this linked list can do. It is possible. FIFO and LIFO. Stack and queue. Anyone has any doubt in this concept? So see, these all concepts are required, necessary, because you are using them in real application, day-to-day life. Okay. So we'll now go with the book to again to see the same concept with some diagrams. Then we'll start with the code. So in searching we have seen two algorithms. Sorting we have used all. So in our first chapter we have introduction to data structure, you know, the all concept, divide, conquer, greedy approach, everything, static and dynamic. Sorting algorithms are there. How many sorting, what is the first sorting name algorithm? Bubble sort, insertion, and a quick sort. Similarly in searching we have linear, binary, and one hashing technique. The hashing technique is a big concept. We require a complete separate session for that. So this, because it's related to because last time we discussed about linked list, so we started with linked list today first. So we are going to, yeah.
Stack और queue का नहीं है program?
Yeah, that queue and stack is used in linked list only. In linked list it is possible to do the stack and queue. Understood? So this stack and queue you will get if you create a linked list. So that's why I opened a notepad now to explain you why we have to traverse in both directions. So this is the reason. FIFO and LIFO, if you require this, you have to traverse in both. So solving programming problems using linked list. So we have singly linked list, doubly circular. I think they have not mentioned here. So consider scenario where you have to write a program to generate and store prime numbers between 1 to million. They are directly saying 1 to million and display them. If you use an array to store prime numbers, the size of array needs to be declared in advance. However, the number of prime numbers between 1 to 10 lakh, 1 million, sorry, same 1 million is not known in advance. You know how many prime numbers are there in 1 to 100? First of all, that also we don't know. We have to calculate. Prime number means number divisible by itself and 1. Or you want to find out even number in 1 to 100. How many you have? 50, you will say, right? 50 is there, maybe 50. But how many there in 1 to 1000? How many there in 1 to 1 million? So we cannot say in advance how many even numbers are there in 1 to 1 million. Not even number. Even numbers are easy because to find out. You can take other numbers like prime numbers, or there are many different type of numbers, you know. Maybe you have heard about them: Armstrong number, palindrome numbers, strong numbers. Different type of numbers are there. So if you want to find out those numbers in any range, we cannot declare any array in advance because we don't know how many numbers are there in this. Or same example, you don't know how many data there in array, sorry, database or notepad. So it increases every second also, every millisecond also sometime increases. So therefore you cannot use array to store the number. What you can do in this situation? To solve the problem, use dynamic data structure that does not require you to specify the size in advance and allows memory to be allocated whenever required. An example of such a data structure is a linked list. Linked list is flexible data structure that provides a convenient way to store data. You do not have to specify the size in the list in advance. Memory is allocated dynamically whenever required. And linked lists are useful in operation where frequent manipulation, insertion, deletion, and everything required. So they will give. So there are some other functionality. Additional things are also there which are not given in book. They have just created linked list and added some values. But we'll see different operation in this. We'll add value, delete value, and add value also in different ways. You can add values. So we'll try different option. So they have, yeah. Hello. So we have two linked lists, singly and doubly. So you can see this is the singly linked list. They have a node. It has a data and memory, next memory address. This is representing next memory. Then again next memory, and see that dash 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 there. That slash, what we say, shaded part is showing null. There is nothing after this. That's why null. In doubly linked list, same. You have two arrows, one data, next address, next data, next address, data, next address, previous address also. The last node does not have anything, first node also doesn't have. Circular also given, 10, 15, 17, last. So you can consider last or first in this. What they are saying, let me check. It is similar to single linked list where each node points to next node. The difference lies just the last node has the points to the first node instead of null. So the last node is not saying I don't have a next node, is pointing to first. Therefore circular linked list neither has beginning nor has an end. Yeah, it doesn't have a start or end, but we have to take one like last or start, because in coding we have to start somewhere from for printing, right? For example, I want to print circular linked list, and we don't have start or end variable only taken, so we cannot start printing from somewhere. That's why we take a one variable. Which one of the following linked list has neither any beginning nor any end? Simple question. What is the answer? Give me fast in the chat. Which one of the following linked list has neither any beginning nor any end? Yeah, correct. Circular is the correct answer. and then they have given a code. So this book is .NET, so they have C++ and C# code given in parts. So we'll try the code, linked list code. But before that, let's first see the stacks and queues also here, theory concept. So what is stack? A stack is a collection of data item that can be accessed only one end, which is called top. Now they have some two to four words which you have to remember. Okay, because they come in exam like LIFO, FIFO. You should know what is LIFO, FIFO, and two more words there. That's why I have come here in this book for stack and queue. So a stack is a collection of data items that can exist at only one end. That is called top. Remember this word, top. Because they are saying a stack is a collection, like this is a stack of books. It's a collection of data items that can be only accessed from top. Like you have a box, you put all the books there. So where you are going to take the books from? You are going to take from down there? No, you are going to take from up, top. So which is called top. This means that the items are inserted and deleted at top. So if you remove something, it is going to be that blue book, you can see. If you add something, you are going to add on the top of that blue book. So you are not you are removing or adding from one end, that is top end. And the list item that is inserted in a stack is the first one to be deleted. Same thing, they are just said you can add from top, delete from top. Therefore stack is called a LIFO data structure. A LIFO data structure is nothing but which allows you to store data in LIFO order, which stores LIFO, last in first out. A stack is like an empty box containing books which is just wide enough to hold the books in one pile. The books can be placed as well as removed only from top of the box, and the book most recently put in the box is the first one to be taken out. So the blue book you put, you have to take it out to take other books if you want. And the book at the bottom in the first one to be put inside the box, the last one to be taken out. So the last one you see there with that bookmark, the small red bookmark there. So that book is going to be taken out the last because that is the first which we added in the box.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, one pile means?
One pile means this is very small box. In for example, now you can see this like a one column. Okay, so your box is very small. Like this box is very small. Its width is very small. So you, if you put something in this, okay, so if I put the here one letter A, now you can see we have A letter and there is no space remaining to store something side to the letter A because there is no space remaining now. So if you put something, it will only go on top of A. So B, now you can see this is one pile. And if you have box wide enough like this, now maybe in this box you can store three letters in one row. So now you can create multiple piles here like A, B, C, and on that I'm storing D, E, F. So now we have three piles here. Understood? Just a column like so. Now stack allows only one. There is no two, three piles, only one option. So in the stack we do two operation. Yes, this is remaining there. I haven't written. That's why I came to book here. Push and pop. To show you from the picture, push and pop are the operations we do in the stack. So remember these words, LIFO, where we delete or insert from top end, and what we do in this stack, we do operations only two like push and pop. Push means you are going to put the item, push the item, and pop means take the item out. So when you push the item, you can take out. So that take out is called pop. Push and pop are the two operations you can do in the stack. Push, pop. Okay, here we pushed one value, push two value, pop two value, push three value, push four value, and pop four value. Okay, so this is push, push, pop, push. Here also we are pushing four value, and here we are popping four value. So pop means stay. So just remember, because they also use the same words in the passage, so you should remember the operation. In some of the languages they also have the same name functions there to store value and remove values. Push pop, the same name given, so in coding also easy to remember. It's some of the languages built-in methods are there, name with name push pop. So I will just update this notepad which is open. Where is that notepad now? To add this two things, I have to go from here, desktop. So in stack memory, we can insert or delete item from only one end, that is top. So it is LIFO, and stack operations. Operations means that same deleting and inserting. So to deleting and inserting here is called push and pop. How we do delete and insert? By pushing the item is insert, and popping out item out means delete, remove. So stack memory, we can insert or delete item only from one end, that is top end. That is from top end. Stack operation push pop, LIFO last in first out. This is your stack. And then we have queue. So in the queue, what we can do, let's see. So question, elements in the stacks are inserted and deleted on dash basis. What is the answer? Elements in stacks are inserted and deleted on dash basis. LIFO basis. Okay, not top. Just read the question properly. LIFO is the correct answer. LIFO basis. The algorithm is given. So of course, in the first chapter they just given how to create linked list, and here they showed how to add and delete. So we'll try together only because we do together. In stack, data can be stored and removed only from one end of the stack called dash of the stack, top of the stack. Correct. In stack is represented by using linked list, then insertion and deletion of data will be done at dash of the list. If stack is represented by linked list, like we are also going to try linked list only to store to do the stack and queue. So it is called beginning of the list. The word is important, not end. Okay.
सर स्टैक है तो स्टैक में तो हम एंड से ही निकालते हैं ना.
No, values are removed if you see the container. So in the container we remove the values from in the stack memory, they are asking. In the stack memory, when we remove the value, because here they have given here, I think in passage also, if you read somewhere it's given here. A stack is simply a link, a list in which insertion deletion are allowed. It is known as top of the stack, top. And if you do in the linked list, because if your linked list is representing stack memory, so when you remove memory, this part, the top part is called beginning of the memory,
ओके.
not front or not end. We'll call it beginning. Somewhere I think it's written here, I think where it is written, When deleting a node, you need to check whether condition no. Defining stack we know already. Data push, you can push data pop. A stack is simply a list which can insert or delete. Stack can be implemented by using array or linked list. When a stack is implemented by using linked list, the stack said to be dynamic. In this case, memory is dynamically allocated to the stack, and the size of the stack can grow or shrink at runtime. To represent linked list, not mentioned here, not written here, but it is beginning, because the stack, the topmost element is you can call a beginning. That's why the beginning word. Front and rear is there in queue. Okay, front, first of all, we don't have here. We don't call it front. So it is called top, or we call it beginning. Okay, so normally in the, when we create a list, we are going to give the same names to remember: start and end. Start and end. You can give different names also, like you want to represent this as stack. This is just a name we are giving to our variables. So we can give any name, like if you are, if you want to represent doubly linked list as a stack, so you can give this name as a start, this name as a end. Okay, reverse, or you can give begin and end, or just simply give start and end only and remove from end. But if this memory is considered as a stack, so you are going to remove the value from here, so this will be considered as a beginning. So that's why we will call it beginning or a top node, because if you see like a container picture, so it is a top node or a beginning of a node. Beginning node means first node. That's why we call it beginning. So similarly, solving problems using queues. A queue is a list of elements in which items are inserted at end of the queue and deleted from the other end of the queue. You can think a queue as an open-ended pipe with elements being pushed from one end and coming out of the another. The end at which the elements are inserted is called rear, and the end which the elements are deleted is called front. I think I told you reverse maybe. Yeah, I think in the picture which I created, that is closed also now. So see this picture now. They are saying, let me read again. The end at which the elements are inserted is called rear. So from here we insert element. I called, I think, from front. And the end from which the elements are deleted is called front. So we are inserting elements from here. So you inserted B, then A, then E, C, and now D we are inserting. So we are inserting from rear end and removing from front end. So this is FIFO, first in, first out. And the queue data structure is similar like queue in real life. Consider scenario of cafeteria where there is a queue of customers in the at the counter. The customer standing first in the queue is served first. When new customer arrive, they are made to stand at the rear end of the queue. After being served, a customer moves away from the queue and next person is there to be served. So queue is also known as dash list. So this is FIFO list. Now we have two operation in this: insert and delete. We don't call it push or pop. Here we call it insert and delete. So from rear end we insert, remember. So this diagram, rear end we insert and from front end we delete. So delete from front. It refers to the deletion of item from queue. Items are always deleted from front. When an item is deleted, the next item in the sequence becomes the front end of the queue. So if you remove B, the A comes in the first node. So front, it become front. So the positions are also changing here. So here I am going to write now Q. We can insert item from, like a summary we can insert, so you can read this and remember. You can insert item from rear end and delete item from front end. So it is like an open ended pipe which has two ends, open ended. We can insert item from rear end and delete from front end. Okay, and the operations, Q operations. So you can do insert and delete. So the operations are simply called insert, delete. There we call them push pop because of the memory style, the how the memory looks. It's like a stack. So push pop, here we do insert, delete. We insert from rear, delete from front. So queues are data structure in which data can be added at one end called dash. Data can be added one end called rear. Okay, and then code is given. If we want to do the queue, means if you want to do display the FIFO, so how we can display. So let me save this file, one more file which I created about static and dynamic array, linked list. So far what we have seen that static and dynamic arrays are there in memory structure. Static arrays are good if you know the size in advance, but dynamic arrays are required if you don't know size in advance. To create dynamic array of your own, you have to create linked list. There are three types: singly, doubly, circular. In doubly linked list, you can do the LIFO FIFO. In the memory concept, it is also represented as a container, means stack, and a pipe as a queue. Queue and stack memory. Any doubt here? Anyone has any doubt? Query?
और
Yes.
वो आपने स्टैक का ऐसा एग्जांपल दिया था कि वो कंटेनर में ऐसा हमने एबीसी डाला, फिर जब भी हम डेटा निकालेंगे तो सी निकलेगा, फिर बी, फिर ए,
Right.
तो फिर वो एंड से ही निकलेगा ना, तो ऐसा बिगनिंग क्यों था उसका आंसर?
No, it's a beginning of container, na, that's why. It's the starting of container. The container face is on the top. That's why we are calling that container as a beginning container. The end is actually down there. The bottom of the container is end for there. Means as a picture, if you see of container, so that the face is called as a beginning or top or a, yeah, top or beginning. That's why we are calling beginning there. Otherwise, in when we create a code, we are going to give same name for the start and end, and we will remove and add from end for stack, and we'll remove and add from beginning for queue. The same linked list we'll use for both. So actually we can implement this in both. We in a single linked list also we can try this stack thing is possible, which we are going to try. So anyone has first, as we discuss, anyone has any error or query or doubt in code, you can ask me. There was no homework question, right? Last session, just to try the same examples. Yeah. So anyone has any query or doubt in any program? Anyone there? No one has error query. Error, if you share error with me, I will be happy to solve the error. If you tried any code. No doubt, no error. Okay. So first I will give you some homework questions today to try. So what is the topic we saw last session? Anyone remember?
Binary search.
Yeah, binary search algorithm. Correct. And two homework questions, array demo and that Fizzbuzz question. Fizzbuzz. So now I'm going to give you some questions to try. These are not mostly array basis code. These are just if else and loop based question, means logical questions only. So let's see whether you can solve. Write a program to accept a number, only one number from user and check whether it is prime or not. What is prime number? Anyone knows? We just read that. That's why I gave you this question. Also interview question for freshers. I did not receive mail. What is your email ID? Please write in the chat. Yeah, so what is prime number?
जो 1 से और खुद से सिर्फ divisible हो.
Yeah, so how you are going to find out user entered number is prime or not? What is your logic? What you are going to try? Yes. Where is 24 email? 24 last time we tried one demo, na? So it's not showing actually. 24, I think I sent someone else again. 24/3/2021. Yeah, it's there. But last time again I was copying. And I think I shared with someone. See, wrong. Last time I think I copied email and then again changed email because someone's email was missing. This one is correct. Email address sent. So I'm forwarding the previous email first. Forward. Yeah, actually you can write in the email, means if you did not receive mail, next day you can immediately write me email so I can check and send you. So see if you have email address here. Okay. Yeah, so I got one answer here. The answer is, let me copy same email ID. Yeah. So the answer is correct. What we have to do, how you are going to implement this concept you are saying that divide, if the number is divisible by 1 and it's still is a prime number, we say that, but actually how we implement in a program. So what we have to do, let's say number is 7 and you want to check it's a prime number. So you have to divide your number by 1. Divide means how to check whether number is divisible. When we say divisible means the remainder should be 0. So you have to divide a number from 1. Then you have to divide a number by 2. You have to divide number by 3. You have to divide by 4, 5, 6, 7. So in short, if you have a number 7 and you want to check whether it is prime or not, so divide it from 1 to 7. Or let's say you have a number 5, you want to check whether this is prime or not. So divide it from 1 to 5. Means from 1 to that number you have to divide it and see where you are getting remainder as 0. Here you got remainder 0. Here is the remainder 1. Here is the remainder 1. No, if you divide by 2, so yes, remainder is 1, right? 3, then remainder is 1. 3005 minus 3, 2. Remainder is 2. 4. So 4, 0, 4 remainder. I think here we got, yeah, 2 remainder. And here we got 1 remainder. And here we got 0 remainder. Remainder means remaining value, okay, after dividing. So now you have to see how many times you got remainder as 0. So if you got only 2 times, if you got, or don't do this, just maybe this one will be easy for you to understand and write also in code. So you have to divide your number from 1 to itself, 1 to itself range. And if you get the remainder as 0, so take one variable count. Take one variable count and check how many time you got remainder 0. Take one count variable and its value, starting value is 0. If count is equal to 0, then it is, sorry, count is equal to 2, then it is prime number, else it is not a prime number. So when we can say, first of all, prime number, if the number is divisible by 1 or itself. So what we are doing, we are dividing our number from 1 till itself, and we will check how many time it is divided. If your number is divided only 2 times, exact 2 times, then you can say your number is a prime number. If your number gets divided more than, less than 2 time or more than 2 time, means it is not a prime number. So for example, take a number 5 divided by 1. Is it 0? Yes, remainder is 0. True. False. Is it divisible by 3? False. 5 divisible by 3? 2? No. Divisible by 4? False. And is it divisible by 5? True. So 5 is divisible by 1, true, and 5, true. For others it is false. So because your number is divided exact 2 times, that's why you can call this number is a prime number. So your count variable can help you with this. If count becomes 2, you can say it is a prime number. Count is just another variable you can take and check how many time it is dividing. So it is a prime. If you take number, let's say 4. Now is a 4 divisible by 1? True. Is it divisible by 2? This is also true. Is it divisible by 3? False. Is it divisible by 4? True. So what you are going to do to check the 4 number is a prime or not, you have to divide it from 1 to 4, means 1 to itself. And how many time it is divided? Is it divided exact 2 time? No. So it's not a prime number. 4 is not a prime number. But 5 is a prime number. So this is how you have to implement somehow in your code to get the answer as it's a prime or not.
सर
Yes.
ऐसा यूजर ने अगर कोई नंबर एंटर किया है और वो अपने हाफ तक अगर किसी से डिवाइड हो जाता है तो फिर वो तो प्राइम नंबर नहीं होगा, तो हम ये कंडीशन लिखेंगे क्या?
Sorry, it is divisible from,
अगर यूजर ने एंटर किया कि 10, मतलब 10 उसको चेक करना है प्राइम नंबर है कि नहीं, तो ऐसा 10 को हम उसके हाफ नंबर तक, मतलब 5 उसका हाफ हुआ, तो अगर 5 से ऐसा हम
no,
डिवाइड,
it's not a correct logic, because if you see, every number is divisible by its half. Every digit. If you every number, sorry, if you have 8, it is divisible by 4, so it is not a prime you are saying. But if you take 9, so 9 is also divisible by its half, 4.5.
yeah.
And if you take 4, so it is not divisible. So you will say it is not a prime number. Okay. But if you say 11, then 11 half is 5.5. And if you take round digit like integer digit 5, so it is not divisible. So it is also not a prime number then. So this is not a logic, means just without a loop means we cannot create. This logic will not work, means we can try different logics, but without loop it is not possible. You have to take a loop. If you have a number, you have to divide from 1 to itself. This is a simple logic. We can decrease some repetition, everything that is different, but this one is a simple logic you can use. Loop is required in every logic. This logic is a simple one because you have to start a loop from 1 till its same number. So you can take a for loop for this. And inside the for loop, write if, like we have written for finding even number, same you can write and divide from 1 to itself and check how many time divided. If it 2 time, you can print it is even number. So you have to think. I have written like a complete logic here. Now how to implement, just for loop. One in the for loop, if is required, one count variable required, and then if else is required to in last to print either whether it is even or odd. So write a program in C++, Java, anywhere to accept a number, or we can check divisibility from 2 to 4. If our number to be checked, if is checked is 5, if only one condition is true, we can return is a not a prime number. Divisibility from 2 to 4, and yeah, if you divide from 2 to 4, then your count should be 0 then, or it is not divided anytime. If it is not divided anytime, so you can say it is prime number. Correct? Yes. So if you are taking from 2 to 4, so your count should be 0, or you can take a boolean variable like status we created. So different logics we can use, but this one is easy to remember. So if you are using this logic, first of all, everyone, you have to understand how you are going to implement this logic. I have written logic in detail here. Try to implement. Write a program. Yeah, so try this one demo only first. So in the linked list is a very important topic, and we have to create multiple operations in it. Insert from end, insert from what we say start, delete from end, delete from start. So in linked list we have to do different operations. So it will take a complete session. So next session we are going to see linked list code. Complete focus on linked list code. Okay. So it will take at least 1 hour to understand the linked list code. So that's why we are going to start fresh from in the next session. So we'll start directly with linked list, so we can focus on that, and then we'll go with the homework question. You can take your time. It's not required that you have to submit it the same tomorrow or something. You can take time, but you have to spend time. You have to spend some hours today, tomorrow. If you directly think I will spend time Sunday, so not proper. This is homework question. Homework question files are already there on desktop. 2503-2021 DSA save. So if you see, today we have seen only theory concepts about memories, about static, dynamic, linked list types. So these are the file we created today: static array, static and dynamic array. Homework question, LIFO, FIFO, linked list pictures which I created in Paint. That's it. So these are the files, some pictures and notepad files. So I'm sending all the files to you. So if you try this prime type of logic, prime demo logic, You will actually again work on if else loops more. The main motto behind this is just to use more loops and if else to get used to the blocks and also how to implement logic. So after trying prime number, you can also try other different numbers. There are many different type of numbers are there, you know. There are many hundreds of different type of numbers: prime number, even number, odd number, natural number, whole numbers, Armstrong numbers, strong numbers, palindrome numbers, and magic numbers. Many numbers are there. So if you take any number, how to check whether it is positive number? So it's very easy. Negative number, even odd is also easy now. Everyone know maybe how to find out. Or how whether it is natural number, that is also very easy. If it is greater than zero, natural, sorry, whole numbers. Yeah, magic numbers. Yeah, find out what is magic number. The Armstrong numbers, strong numbers, palindrome. There are many. First, you should first complete prime number, and then you can try other numbers. You have to first understand what is these numbers are and how you can implement its logic. Like prime number, you know, everyone know. I think here everyone know what is prime number, of course. But how to implement logic, that is important. Do you require loop? Do you require if else? How many if else you require? You require nested loop. You require uh, only one if else, or there also nested if else. You have to think about this. So see, I have sent you the pictures. Linked list, what is this? Static array, problems, FIFO, LIFO, and what is this? Homework question, prime number homework question. You will try linked list. So all the files are shared with you. In the next session, we'll start fresh with the linked list code, and our focus will be linked list, and then we'll try the other codes. Okay, so today we are not starting with linked list because it will take time. We'll start in the tomorrow session, same time, 7 o'clock. Okay, so I'm ending the meeting now. Everyone, thank you for attending. Bye bye. See you in the next session tomorrow.